thought it was a good advert for League Two football, but Jim's not be down to earth. He's a bit frustrated, are you?
No, I'm not. I get where Nuts is coming from. I get where the players are coming from, but I can't be frustrated with our progression. I can't, and I think sometimes, in a clear light of day, which will be tomorrow, Nuts will probably understand that where we're trying to get to. If you get there too fast, it's bust a boom, And we've got to design this over a length of time. Still 18 games left, still a lot of games, but we've pushed and pulled. A good Oxford team there. I think that's 23 goals they've conceded. That's all they've conceded all season. I think they've conceded 8 goals now away from home, the best in the league. So they're resilient, and that's why they're up there. That's why in the top 3. So we've created match-winning chances, and that's what I'm probably frustrated about. Match-winning chances. Anton Forrester first half, Tutty's quality is just incredible. So I'm frustrated at certain aspects, and obviously the goal. But to get better. We've just got to try and make sure we just tidy up on the detail a little bit.
Yeah, there's lots of positives, aren't there? You mentioned they're not undefeated away from home. Will they have had many more serious tests than that? Probably not.
I don't think they have. I think if you analysed all their away games, I don't think they would have. I think they've been tested and pulled and dragged about and made to work hard. They've had to trudge through that pitch and put a lot of miles into. To try and keep us at bay at times, and there's a lot of pleasing aspects about what we've produced today.
He's a bit frustrated with the goal. He said they're analysing then, but I just said to him then, it's 230 odd minutes. You do that every, before you concede a goal. You're not going to go far wrong, are you?
No. We'll have a look at it. I've not really had a look at it. We've not got an analysis yet, so I need to have a look at it and see where it's come from. It's a player that we didn't have a dedicated mark with him because he's come from the edge of the box. So. I get where Nuts is, we're frustrated, and that's what I want. I want people to be frustrated and lead the group. But I won't let them off with it, and if we've got to do more work on the training ground, we will do. But I think it's the other side. If we get that last third bit right, we are going to comfortably win teams. Certainly here.
Yeah, and to be fair to Jim McNulty, he's saying not letting them off. You don't want to let themselves off, which is even better for you, isn't it?
Yeah. No, I'm getting. I've said the good characters. I thought Platty's introduction and his.
Won about 3, didn't he?
It was immense. It gives us a different tool. People question, why are we doing what we're doing with Clyde? There's no other player in the league like him. He's so effective at what he does, and. We'll be working on the plan B. If plan A doesn't work, there's many ways you can win a football match, and that's what we've been brought in here to do.
I mean, I don't want to go back for a couple of weeks, but those 3 lads you brought in, how many games have they had between them? You can't buy that experience, can you?
Not when you're out on the pitch, you can't. In a programme it looks right, but then when you get them out on a pitch, game knowledge, game understanding. Tommy Miller were quiet tonight, but being quiet doesn't mean he didn't have a bad game. Tommy Miller was very effective and pulling people about and dragging people into position and making sure that the team was secure. And we look secure. I look at, when we analyse that tomorrow, I look at how many shots, how many threatening crosses, did Oxford produce against us? And nothing, absolutely nothing. So, we know where we're at, we're going to deal with stats, and we kept a very good team at bay.
Yeah, I mean, you look at just the second half, Connolly and Kitson come on together, how many games are there between them? 1,000?
Possibly. To kept him at bay, we've been back 3. Vaselli's getting better game in. Pabs is with games, he's and Nuts is really in a rhythm of work. So chuffing me back 3. Craig Jones, the shift he puts in on that pitch is insane at times. Well, he just doesn't stop, and he doesn't stop running for the team. He's one of the most unselfish players I've ever worked with. He's outstanding. And Tutty, again, he looked at times elegant. Eloquent and going again, glides over that pitch, which is difficult to do.